I have the feeling that there are a lot of people out there who really, really, really do not want us to be thinking about those Epstein files. Because if there's one thing that has rung true with everything that's been done by Republicans, by the right, everything that has been happening after the tragic murder of Charlie Kirk, everything that's been going on, it's one thing that's clear. These motherfuckers are doing everything in their power to make you not focus on those files. Hello, this is Connecticut Static. I am your host, Germ, the hostess with the mostest. And yeah, today I just want to talk to you all about this ever going campaign and crusade of Donald Trump to do everything in his power to focus on anything but his connections to Jeffrey Epstein and those files. Whether it has been his crusade on left-wing cities in order to curb the violence, him sending the National Guard to DC and then trying to do the same thing in Chicago, still in the process as I record this. Whether it is him going to the funeral memorial service of Charlie Kirk and literally right after this man's wife had come out and talked about forgiveness and about how you have to turn the other cheek, whether you believed her saying that, whatever, regardless of whatever you think of her. For this man to come out there afterwards and say, yeah, Charlie Kirk believed in seeing the good in his enemy and trying to wish for the best for them, but see me, I don't. I hate them. I want what's worse for them. It not only is it disgusting, not only does that really just sort of highlight the main thing that I just can never get with when it comes to the guy, which is just his inherent need to cause divisiveness. He does not want people to be unified. It is something that is very, very clear. It's very, very open that he is about this. He wants you to view the other side as the other. He does not want you to see them as anything close to you on a human level. But it's been working. He has pretty much, the narrative has shifted. I've been noticing that, you spend more time now focused on just all the craziness that you're seeing coming from that side of people, whether it be people comparing Charlie Kirk to MLK. Yes, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of images that have been doing it. It's crazy. Whether it's just all of the cringe moments, whether it's all the people that have been calling for a full-on genocide, asking him to just activate them and give them the okay. It's just clear that the big deal is that we are all focused on this and that he has people riled up instead of just doing the big thing. Where are the fucking Epstein files? Where are you going to just release everything? Because you can send out Kash Patel, the FBI director, as much as you want. You can have him sit there and do his whole shtick. Nobody is believing it. This is one of the worst done cover ups that I have seen in my lifetime. It feels like we are living in an age where motherfuckers just are blatantly just telling us, yeah, you're stupid. You are going to just believe this. And a lot of people are going for it. And now his latest angle has been to just get Jimmy Kimmel thrown off of television. Yes, if you were living under a rock, if you haven't heard about it, Jimmy Kimmel got his show temporarily just thrown off the air. It is up as I record this, but it was taken off after he literally just came out after the weekend to talk about the Charlie Kirk death, and what he said was very mundane. It was very tame. He did not call anybody out. All he said was that there's a lot of connections between the shooter and the right, and there are, regardless of what was going on with him. He did have his family. He was a long-term Republican who had just, from what I've read up to this point, had just come into some different views. And even then, there's some stuff that I have an inkling about, but I'm not 100% sure of just yet. I have a lot of he was into some memes. I'll just leave it at that. But it just is going to show that he's looking for anything. Because when you really look at what was said, when you really look at what was done, there was nothing that would have justified this man being taken off TV. There was nothing that would be like, hey, this guy is a threat. This guy is threatening me. And the things that he's been saying, the things that he has been coming out and doing, just trying to get people to just bite on this, has been crazy. And it makes me a little fearful of the future, because you know what? We are in a very trying time. If you don't notice how little things like that are just it seems like a test. So just let me see if I can get away with doing this right here. And he has been succeeding in a lot of shit that he shouldn't be succeeding in lately. So I'm still not one of those people who thinks that this is going to turn into a dictatorship. Think that they might try to find ways to keep things just rigged on to one side, but I don't think that we'll be dealing with one man. He's already getting fucking old. Like, this is a guy who, again, we are already recently, there were reports of the man looking like he had just had a seizure on one side of his face. So this is not somebody who is probably going to be built up to do this shit for the long term. But we need to be paying attention to everything right now. Pay attention to your local elections. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And one thing I do want to say, when it comes to speaking out about somebody, when it comes to saying things that are inflammatory, we need to keep in mind, remember who's in power, and just remember what was happening. Because I didn't make an episode about it. I didn't really speak too much on it, but there were a lot of people who lost their jobs because they were saying a lot of shit about Charlie Kirk. People that weren't saying, you know what, they weren't even saying LOL. They weren't just putting laughing emojis. People that were just saying tame things, and it was costing them their jobs. There's whole websites right now that are dedicated to finding people, getting all their information if they say anything that someone doesn't like in that regard. So keep your head on the swivel. I've already said how I feel. I'm not gonna cheer on anybody who getting their fucking neck blown out in front of their fucking kids. It's not cool to me. But even if you felt no sympathy, even if you felt happy, even if you felt any type of way that's anything other than sadness or just like damn, keep it off the internet. I think people have to keep this in mind. We need to just really start remembering this. You can say whatever you want. You can type whatever the hell you want. No one's gonna stop you from clicking send. But you will have consequences. If your job gets wind of it, you will catch a consequence. If I go out and I start posting a whole bunch of crazy shit on my Instagram or shit, if I say something crazy on here, wild enough, it can get traced back to me. That's just how things work, and there would be consequences for it. So keep that in mind. You really got something crazy to say sometimes? Keep it in community. Say it to somebody face to face. If you don't have somebody face to face, find more personal chat rooms. Or if you're an adult, if you're a kid, just don't listen to this. But just there's no need to be saying or doing anything that can be traced back to you. You have to remember that the internet is still real. If you're on Instagram, if you're on Twitter, you're on X, especially if you're on Facebook, that shit will get traced back to you. Motherfuckers will find your job. It's not hard. If you're not a bot, it's very, very easy. So keep that in mind, people. You're not going to change anyone's mind by arguing with them on the internet, by posting some meme. You're not going to win anything. You're not going to get anything except a little minuscule boost of serotonin maybe that doesn't last for that long. Then you're gonna go back to feeling empty. I hate to use this term because I feel like it's something that has been bastardized, but people need to stay woke over these next couple of years, over everything that's going on. Not woke in the trying to change the world and all that shit, just woke and staying aware of your surroundings and staying aware of the climate. Things are very charged up right now. You don't know what motherfuckers are thinking. You don't know how motherfuckers are feeling. So just keep your head on a swivel. Just try to be a good person in real life and avoid too much of the internet. If it ever feels like something is getting to be too much for you and it's just getting to weigh on your psyche and you just can't handle that shit, there's nothing wrong with just like taking a break. That's me. I had to do that recently. Too much of just listening to all this negativity and this political strife and all this shit is going on here and all these people are upset over here and we're getting this close to civil war and that shit's not good. And then you sit there and you start getting agitated in real life and you start doubting motherfuckers that you see in real life. The internet is the internet. It traces back to us, but it's not real life. These are the people that you talk to a lot of times on there, the people that have the time to have those back and forths, those are people that are not fulfilled. They're not happy. If a motherfucker is not getting paid to be on the internet and they are on the internet like that, chances are there is some emptiness in that motherfucker life, one way or another. I don't care what nobody got to say. I'm sorry. This is some I'll speak from myself from being in that position before. So just keep that in mind. Protect yourself. Protect your energy. Protect your peace. Shit. My one mission for anybody that listens to this episode, after you and just relax, and then call somebody that you love to talk to, or text them. Say what's up. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your boy Germ. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening in to me on. Like I said, keep having a good rest of your day. Don't consume too much internet, man. It ain't good for you or your psyche. Drink more water.